Hey there, welcome back to Menty Psych Genius, your favorite chill space for simplifying psychiatry. Today, we're talking about borderline personality disorder, one of the most emotionally intense, misunderstood, and often mislabeled diagnoses in psychiatry. You've probably heard people say things like, she's so dramatic, must be borderline personality disorder, or he's got attachment issues, probably borderline. But here's the truth: borderline personality disorder is not just mood swings, it's not crazy behavior. It's a complex personality disorder that affects how a person relates to themselves and others. We'll explore what it really looks like, why it's often misunderstood, and how we can approach it with less judgment and more empathy. So, what exactly is borderline personality disorder? Picture this: intense emotions, unstable relationships, and an almost constant fear of being abandoned. People with BPD often struggle with their self image too, like being stuck in a mirror with a shattered reflection. It's a lot to manage, and that fear of abandonment, it's real. So, let's break down the 9 features of BPD. According to DSM-5 classification, a person needs at least 5 of these. These symptoms aren't just vague traits. They're powerful emotional and behavioral patterns that make life feel like a constant emotional storm. 1. Frantic efforts to avoid abandonment. These people often have a deep fear of being abandoned or left alone, leading them to go to extreme lengths to prevent it, even when there is no real threat of abandonment. Imagine feeling like you're always on the edge of losing someone, so you act out to keep them close. 2. Intense, unstable relationships. Relationships can be marked by intense love and hate, with the individual swinging from idealizing someone to feeling hurt and rejected by them. 3. Identity disturbance. An unstable self-image where the person may struggle with knowing who they really are, often leading to confusion or even drastic changes in behavior and goals. Impulsivity in risky behaviors. Impulsive actions like spending sprees and risky behavior like reckless driving, spending sprees, substance abuse, or unsafe sexual practices, or risky behavior can seem like a way to feel in control, even when they hurt them. 5. Suicidal or self-harming behavior. Self-harm or thoughts of suicide can be a desperate way to deal with intense emotional pain. 6. Rapid mood shifts. One minute they feel euphoric, and the next they're down in the dumps. Moods swing like a pendulum. 7. Chronic emptiness. Feeling like something's missing in life, or that they're trapped in a void of emptiness. 8. Intense anger. The smallest trigger can spark an intense, uncontrollable outburst of anger, leaving them feeling emotionally drained afterward. 9. Stress-induced paranoia or dissociation. Under stress, they may experience paranoia or feel detached from reality, as if they are observing themselves from the outside or have lost touch with their surroundings. Each of these symptoms can take a heavy toll on a person's emotional and mental well-being. BPD affects about 1.6% of the population, but it's commonly underdiagnosed in men. It usually shows up in adolescence or early adulthood, and unfortunately, the suicide rate is around 10%. That's why it's so important we get educated. It could mean life or death for some. So what causes borderline personality disorder? A mix of biological, environmental, and psychosocial factors. Genetics plays a role. If there's a family history of mental health issues, the risk increases. Trauma, especially childhood trauma like abuse or neglect, also plays a huge part. BPD can also stem from disrupted attachment, where the emotional needs weren't consistently met, making it hard to trust others in adulthood. And here's the kicker: BPD doesn't usually stand alone. It's often seen alongside other conditions like depression, PTSD, anxiety disorders, substance abuse, and even eating disorders. hence the need for proper care. For diagnosis, a detailed clinical interview is key. BPD can mimic other mental health issues, so ruling out mood or psychotic disorders is crucial. The good news, BPD is treatable. The gold standard treatment is dialectical behavior therapy, and it works. It teaches people how to tolerate distress, regulate emotions without chaos, and build stable relationships. There's also mentalization-based therapy, which helps people understand their own and other people's mental states, because sometimes you really don't know if someone's mad at you or just didn't sleep well. As for medications, there's no magic pill, but medications can help with target symptoms. SSRIs for mood and anxiety, mood stabilizers for aggression, antipsychotics for severe dissociation or paranoid thoughts. There are so many myths surrounding BPD. Let's bust a few. First, BPD is not about being manipulative, it's about survival. People with BPD are not trying to control others, they're trying to avoid being abandoned. Second, it's not untreatable. Dialectical behavioral therapy has shown remarkable success. And finally, no, it's not just attention seeking. This behavior is often a desperate call for help, an attempt to manage overwhelming emotions. As for the prognosis, borderline personality disorder gets better with time and treatment. It's not an impossible battle, healing is possible. Supporting someone with BPD, it takes patience and understanding. Setting clear boundaries and being consistent is crucial. Don't blame them for their struggles, and remember they need empathy, not rescue. Encourage therapy, and show support without enabling destructive behavior. You can make a huge difference by simply being there. In summary, borderline personality disorder is complex, but it's treatable. And while the journey can be long, it's always worth it. Be compassionate, be understanding, because healing is not linear. Thanks for watching. If this helped you understand borderline personality disorder better, kindly subscribe, like, and turn on the bell for more. Next up, narcissistic personality disorder. You don't want to miss that one.